point, just
together.
put the stream up and just mute it. Much easier.
Can you link it to me?
Okay.
Link the what now?
1 sec.
He's linking him the stream, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I need to get my tea.
Oof, that's some hot tea.
Ooh, that's
And
dirty.
this is alongside what you're doing?
you think so?
This is where we handle the mechanics of what we're doing. Like, it handles the dice rolls, and it handles the visual aspect of where we are, our placement.
So if I mute the stream, I can see like what decisions
Yeah.
you're making and how.
Yeah.
You'll be able
Yeah.
to see their tokens moving around, and then you'll hear what we're talking about.
Okay. And every like how do I see like what the roles you're doing and all that kind of crap?
It'll pop
Be
up
in
on
the chat
screen.
on Roll20.
Yeah, so like if you're looking at Cass's stream, there should be like
yeah, I see this like kind of chat screen.
there should be like a sidebar that has like
yeah.
A sidebar that has
Yeah.
us all rolling for hats last week.
Oh right. Because I was out with my tooth last week. Okay. Let's see here. I got my tea. I got my. Okay. Is everybody settled in?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So, as I recall, the last time we played a couple of weeks ago, before I had my tooth ripped out, you were, oh right, Rhea had gotten kidnapped. That's what happened. You sent her to investigate the bathhouse ahead of the rest of you, while some of you went to go talk to, or all of you went to go talk to that devil who sells you magic items, and then some of you went into town to catch up with Rhea, and a couple of you were left behind to finish dealing with the refugees. And when you caught up to the bathhouse and where you had sent your young paladin ward, you saw that she was being kidnapped. The enemy in question had leapt up onto the roof carrying her under his arm and had led you on a merry chase across the city of Baldur's Gate. And ultimately, a short time later, you dropped down into a back alley where you found a warehouse that was being guarded by a band of thugs. You infiltrated the warehouse and engaged in combat with said thugs and rescued young Rhea Mantlemorn from where she had been imprisoned and returned to her gear, because when you found her she was like tied up in a corner in her small clothes. And I believe I had beaten the living shit out of like some number of you.
Oh, you almost killed me.
I almost died, but
We sorted out all the healing in that, didn't we?
yeah, I took
Yeah.
a short. We was on healing and shit, and I took a short rest.
Yes.
and
Now
got happy.
and you searched around the warehouse. You found a collection of incredibly valuable treasure hidden in a secret room, and on the leader who had kidnapped your young ward, you found a letter addressed to the leader of the assault team, informing them that they should continue fighting against the cult of Zariel, and reclaiming the stolen treasures of the goddess Tiamat, addressed to them from one Arcan the Cruel. And then I think that's pretty much where we left off. And I know that you had sorted out a lot of your healing and you'd taken a short rest. How is everybody for spell slots?
I should be okay, I think.
I've got.
Yeah, I'm good.
I still have all my level 2s, but I only have one level 1.
Okay.
I haven't used. No, that's wrong. My sheet is wrong. I've used one hunter's mark.
I didn't actually do much this run at all, because I remember I did a lot of passive things involving Feared and making him seem like he's a demon god.
I had
Hey,
to
right,
all my
okay.
heavy, but my short rest got them back. So
So it sounds like Hillary is the one who is the most effective, or most affected in terms of resources.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and yeah, for what it's worth, Rhea, I think still has all of her spell slots and her lay on hands. And she's like dutifully like moving around in the background, probably like cleaning things up. I think you knocked everybody out rather than actually
we tied them
kill
all
them.
up, yeah.
yeah, we got them
Yeah.
all together and tied them up.
Killed
Yeah.
a few of them. We knocked out a few.
Okay, yeah, and so Ray is probably doing her soldier bit in the background, like guarding the prisoners, as it were, whether or not they're conscious. But I guess the question remains now with this weird side diversion, dealt with, crisis averted. You have all of this gold on hand now, and random treasure. What do you guys want to do? You still know about this weird bathhouse. Like you helped the refugees get into town and see to it that they would be settled. And I believe like you are pretty much aware that the bathhouse is probably a front, or most definitely a front for the cult that's been like committing this chain of murders throughout the city. It's still like late afternoon. What's the plan?
The original plan was to go and check out the bathhouse. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still down for that. If people like, I could use a bath. It's been a rough couple of days.
It's been difficult. All right then. What are you gonna do with the captured assailants?
Well, we need to get the town guards to deal with
I
them.
was gonna say, yeah, get the town guards to deal with them.
Personally, it might be worth our while to see if they have bounties on them.
Isn't that what the town guard is for?
Oh, I mean,
I don't-
yeah, we could like turn them in and see.
I don't know, Master Ray. I honestly don't know. I live in the woods.
Yeah, I know, like, I'm pretty
I
sure
live in the woods.
I'm pretty sure the town guard would be able to deal with bounties for us.
You're confirmed for
Any of them are
absolute woody
wanted.
boy.
All right then. So are you gonna go look for like the nearest like watch barracks, or are you just gonna like poke your head out on the street and see if you can't like do the guard equivalent of hailing a cab?
I'm doing that.
There might still be some milling around from the ones that were chasing the panther.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
right. That's right. Okay, so like I think
Yeah, I'm
probably
not gonna pop my head out because they'd probably want to talk to me as well. So like,
I had forgotten about that. So yeah, like probably like you're having this conversation and like 3 or 4 minutes later you hear this boom 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 like on the door to the warehouse that you came in through.
shit, it's the fuzz.
And
Alright.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will go and open up the door and invite them in and say, "Here, please arrest these men. They're horrible hooligans."
Yeah, so you open the door and you say that, and like outside there are like I don't know, like 6 members of like the Flaming Fist, right? Like they're wearing the tabards, they've got the armor on, and like 4 of them are like holding like a portable battering ram, right? Like they were getting ready to like knock the door down when the door opened, and the guy that's like to the side of the door like looks in and he's like, "Oh, what?" And then you're like come in and arrest these people, and he waves at the other 4 to like put down the battering ram, and he like steps around the door frame into the room, and he's like, "Okay, somebody's gonna have to explain what's going on in here, because I heard there was an illegal panther with a demon tail, and I don't see that anywhere."
I'll just walk up to him and just be like, don't worry, the panther's gone. It was a horrific misunderstanding.
It was this guy right here, and I'll point to one of the ones that's tied up.
You want to make me a deception check?
Who?
Yeah, 1 second.
Her.
Mm.
Also, are you wearing your badge?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you advantage then. You can roll again. Just to see if you can get a better result. Okay,
Oof.
so the 14. He kind of like squints at you and you're like, it's this man right here who's tied up, and he kind of like, he's got like his tongue like buried in his cheek as he's kind of like glancing at the man, and he glances at you, and then he looks over at Ray, and then he looks back at you, and he's like, well, I've heard stories about you, contractors, is it? And like he does that thing where he like points at his eyes and he points at you, and he's like, "I'll take your word for it right now," but and like he walks over to the guys that are like tied up in the corner, and he's like, "So who are these miscreants exactly? Why are they tied up?"
I'll butt in. But don't worry about this. I'll get him to talk. He can tell you himself. One moment. And I'll walk up to the guy and I'll sort of just slap him conscious a wee bit. It's like, hey! And I'll just lean in and go, I'll just lean into him and go, if you don't say what you were doing here to this guard, I'll have to bring the fury of my demon lord upon you.
Alright, give me intimidation. I will give you advantage.
I mean, I got high, so.
Hey, all right, yeah. He's like, no more demons, no more demons.
The demons!
And like he's saying it loud enough that like the watch guard can hear, and he's like arching an eyebrow, and he's like, we're part of the cult of Tiamat. We were just sent to get some treasures back that were stolen by another cult that's hiding inside of the city of Baldur's Gate.
So
And the
you
guard-
kidnapped someone to do that.
Well, she was wearing a cult robe. We thought she was one of them. We were gonna
What?
interrogate her and figure out where.
Likely story. Take
Sounds
'em,
like
boys.
something a cultist would say.
and like the leader of the watch patrol is just like doing that thing where he's like gripping the bridge of his nose and like shaking his head slowly, and he's just like, you know what? Like I said, I've heard about you contractors. I'm just not gonna ask, boys. Round them up, take them away, and
Wait,
yeah,
hang
it's like,
on. Before you take them, like, do any of these men have bounties on them that maybe we could like be paid for? This is
and
hard
he
work.
However, don't
Kinda
give the money to the halfling.
kind of looks down at you, and he's like, I think he knows that you're a halfling, but he does that thing where he kind of like crouches down on his haunches or whatever and like looks straight at you, and he's like, well, little boy, I don't know. I don't carry a sheaf of bounties around with me everywhere I go, but if I can take your name, I can pay you later if it turns out that they're criminals.
Yeah. I'm not a little boy, you cheeky fuck. Like,
You really
Yeah,
want to
he-
give your name to the town?
He's like
No.
smirking at you, right? Like,
my name's Chad Hogan.
uh-huh. And he doesn't buy it. He turns back to Ray, and he's like, I understand that you and your friends are probably motivated by coin. If it turns out that any of these people are worth anything more than the stipend allotted to people for being good citizens, we'll find a way to let you know. My understanding is that people know you.
What was the name of that woman that fucking took over the Flaming Fist?
Lyra Portier.
It's like, well, just so you know, like, I'm good friends with your boss, Lyra Portier. Don't want you doing any funny business with any money we're owed.
Yeah, and he turns back and he looks at you and he's like, oh, well, if that's true, then there's no risk that the money won't find its way to you. I'm sure.
Good, good.
I'm waiting. Why are you not mentioning your bell?
I'm about to if you two would shut the fuck up for 5 seconds. Jesus Christ! I am still owed a bell. Please ask Miss Portier where it is.
Yeah. There's a long silence as he stares you, like, in the eye, without flinching, and then just turns and walks away.
It's a handbell from the
Yeah, and he does that
from
thing
the
where he like
governor.
gestures. He emits silk waves like
Yeah.
over his shoulder as he walks away.
Perfect.
And
Oh,
another
that
one of the
one,
another one of the watch guards like walks up to you, Ray, and he's like, "Boss has been having a weird day. Apparently, a halfling fell out of the sky, and there was a panther with a tail.
Oh
and
my god.
Look here," and he puts up a small bag in your hand if you'll allow him to. And he's just like, "For your trouble," and then he turns and to like the remaining like 4 guards, and he's like, "All right, everybody, get them on their feet. Let's get them walking. I don't care if they're unconscious. Slap them awake. Let's go. Let's go."
Cyane is just going to straight face very hard.
Yeah, and so
So
the
how
little
much did he
baggie
give?
that he handed you has like 25 gold pieces in it.
Oh, okay. I'll take that for myself. Call it for dealing with Bosimba.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, well.
Yeah, and so the guards just like they grab the dragon cultists and they fuck off. And so then I guess after that the shot moves from the
Well,
warehouse. Oh, I'm
Real
sorry.
quick, Marcus, I actually would like to ask a couple of things. Specifically, if I know anything about Tiamat being myself both evil and a student of evil. Like,
Yeah, give me a religion check.
oh no.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's not bad, yeah.
That's not bad at all. Okay. Let's see here. What would you know? So a couple of years ago, there was an incident here on the material plane. From an above board like player perspective, like Horde of the Dragon Queen, Rise of Tiamat, that whole campaign, that happened.
Okay.
Like that is a thing that has happened. Like the Cult of the Dragon is like pretty much illegal everywhere on the Sword Coast because they tried to summon Tiamat to the material plane to like I don't know. I've not read the end of the module, but I know that there was like a whole grand plan to like summon their 5-headed dragon goddess to the planet to do something. That happened. It was averted by a different group of heroes. She was thrust back into hell, where she is currently technically imprisoned.
Okay.
You also know that at some point in the distant past, Tiamat, the Lady of Dragons, was definitely like the demon lord or devil lord, I guess, of Avernus. And then she was cast down. There was another devil lord who took the position after her, whose name has been lost to history. Then they were cast down and Bell took their place. And then presumably Bell has been cast down and this new Archduchess of Hell is in charge now. So there's a whole like line of succession and probably like a fair amount of jealousy between the various people who have occupied the seat of the Archduke of Avernus.
Okay, so long story short, Tiamat's a bad bitch and I might want to make friends with her.
Yes,
Cool.
you might.
I might.
You may or may not. It really depends on how things go in the future. At least for the moment, you have a bunch of treasures that definitely belong to her, according to the people that you just beat the shit out of in your possession, including a very heavy statue of a dragon inset with gold and diamonds.
Which is mine.
And some potions and some scrolls and stuff that you found. But yeah, is there any other questions or thoughts or concerns before we move on?
How are we going to get this statue out of here?
I mean, it only weighs like 20 pounds.
It's like a 2-foot statue. Like, who's carrying that about them?
Not
I'm
me.
carrying it.
Okay.
It's mine.
Alright, so
now.
Right,
now
fair
I'm
enough, Gil.
imagining. Now I'm imagining Vert has a 2-foot tall statue of a dragon tied to his back in lieu of a backpack.
Alongside
Well,
his
maybe-
kick me sign.
Maybe we should check with Rhea and see what she actually saw while she was giving out.
Oh yeah. For her part, yeah, Rhea can let you know, she did in fact put on one of the red like cult robes
Yeah.
because she thought it would be a good idea because she figured the cultists wouldn't care if another cultist was distantly observing the bathhouse, which is definitely the kind of plan that a 17-year-old kid would make.
Definitely
know,
the kind of
that-
plan someone who's been hanging around with us too long would think.
You
Yeah.
know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like she needs a scolding.
Maybe a little bit. Beyond that, the gentleman who kidnapped her like suddenly like dropped down behind her, beat her over the head. She was unconscious for most of the trip, and then like when she came to, like there was a bunch of fighting going on in the warehouse, and this is how we get to where we are now. As far as what she observed outside of the bathhouse, she will let you know that it seems to be, for all intents and purposes, like a mundane bathhouse. Like, you know, it's called the Frolicking Nymph. Like she just saw regular people like coming and going, like carrying their baskets with like, you know, soap or whatever other oils that they might want to use while they're in the bath if they're using a private bath, like carrying like changes of clothes with them. People of all walks of life, all different like race and ethnicity, you know, rich people, poor people. Like it seems to be a relatively busy and like relatively popular place to go to have a nice bath. And she did not see anyone coming or going that were obviously dressed like cultists, which again would make perfect sense because it's a front business.
Yep.
Fair. Sounds like something a cultist would want us to think. Just saying.
Yeah. You know,
Christina.
and she did not attempt to go inside either. She'll let you know that. So
So,
Lucy,
go for the
now.
bath. Oh, sorry.
Lucina,
Yes.
what is a bath?
You don't know what a bath is?
I would not ask you if I knew.
It's where you submerge yourself in water and you clean your skin or fur or scales, whatever it is that you have.
Yes, but why is it in a building? Don't you normally do those things in a river
Well,
or a
Some
stream?
some people prefer heated water. It's a much more enjoyable experience that way.
That sounds frivolous and unnecessary.
The best kind of frivolous and unnecessary.
I don't think it's unnecessary. Heated water may be frivolous. I think you should try it out before you judge it.
Mhm. Very well.
I love it. I love it. So, Vert and Lucina, if you guys do not have inspiration already, go ahead and
Yay!
mark some inspiration there because that shit's funny. Actually, you know what? Ray as well, because
Yay.
you straight faced the fucking town guard just fine, and Baw, like all four of you.
All I can picture right now is Virt staring at a bar of soap, like the most inquisitive look, like, what the
Yes.
fuck is this?
Just like a
Yes,
head
exactly.
cocked
What
to
is
the
this,
side
small
in
child?
confusion.
You're gonna be really horrified when he starts to take a bite out of it.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
about to say. Is this food to eat? What?
It smells good. Oh, no, it
I mean,
tastes
I'm
bad.
picturing her
I think-
sitting there chewing on soap and blowing bubbles.
I think every kid takes a bite out of soap at some point, so I'm accepting this. It's gonna happen.
All right,
This-
so
This tastes horrible.
this tastes terrible. Yeah, so we cut to I guess let's say for the sake of argument, like the next shot after this conversation about maybe you should try it sometime is the group of you with Rhea standing in the alley that Rhea was standing in before she got kidnapped, like across the street, looking at the bathhouse. And to reestablish that particular like scene, the bathhouse is a fairly good sized building, with a blue tiled roof that has like it kind of like slants up to towards the center, and then there's like a set of like raised walls or whatever that are just like wide vents to let like steam and like moisture out, and then like the roof is like there's another like steepled roof like on top of that, and that's what you can see poking out from above, like a 10-foot high wall that completely surrounds the complex that the bathhouse occupies. And then there is a set of double doors, one of which is like swung open to denote that the bathhouse is currently open for business, that seem to, if both doors were closed, would depict a full scene of water nymphs like playing in a river, and it's like an incredibly like detailed like carving in the surface of the door. And then the other thing that you can see above like the tops of the wall are there's like the tops of like trees and other like large like decorative like ground plants, kind of like, you know, growing up above the like that grow taller than the walls. So there's obviously like some sort of like garden area inside the compound as well. And like I said, the door is like freely open. You could just wander into the yard if you wanted.
Sure, I guess. Is that not the
Yeah,
idea?
if we're being invited, we might as well go.
No.
Sure. So you step through the doors, and you enter this kind of like it's a really nice like plaza or like courtyard kind of situation. There are like fountains and like marble benches and like statuary kind of spread around. There is a stone walking path that kind of leads from the double doors that enter the compound like around the side of the building, that kind of beckons you onward. And then there's just like all of these like nice trees and bushes and like flowering shrubs, and like it's a much more diverse and like a lusher kind of environment than I think you would normally expect. Given Baldur's Gate's climate, it's probably likely that this yard is being maintained by the care of a druid or some other like nature magic oriented individual. There's like birds like singing in the trees, and like squirrels are running around like playing with one another as you kind of like walk through. And there's a few people that are just like sitting on the benches, just like enjoying the sun or like reading a pamphlet under the shade of a tree. No one seems to notice you, even though you're a group of like 5 adventurers and their young ward who is wearing armor, and all of you are armed. And you know, and unless you want to stop and talk to anybody, you just kind of like wind your way along the sidewalk, and eventually you come to the doors to the bathhouse, which, you know, you check the door, it opens easily, and you kind of walk into this sort of like reception room that is like there's a couple of like plush chairs like around the room where you can just kind of like sit down. There is a reception desk directly across the room from where you come in, and there is I don't know, let's say like a dragonborn who is just like sitting behind the desk, like reading like a broadsheet, which is like a newspaper or whatever, and they're kind of like not paying attention, and there's like this light, like relaxing, like elevator music style music that seems to just like fill the space, that is coming from no discernible origin, and it's a very like relaxed vibe. It smells like scented oils and perfumes, and it's a kind of a slightly more humid inside the building than it is outside. And once you enter and the door kind of clicks closed behind you, like the newspaper like folds down like half-wise as the Dragonborn kind of like looks up over the top of his newspaper. He's like, oh, more customers, and he like quickly like folds the newspaper up and sets it aside and stands up, and he's like, welcome to the Frolicking Nymph. How can I help you today? And he like bows like at the waist, like kind of, and he's tall enough that even bowing in half at the waist, he's still able to do that, like despite the desk still being between him and you.
So, oh, on you go, on you go.
No, on you go. I was just coughing.
So I'll walk up to the desk and go, "Hi there, my good man," and I'll take the 25 gold, the pouch, and put it on the desk in front of him, and just say, "We're looking for a comfortable bath for my shabby little halfling friend and my companion here who doesn't know what a bath is."
Yeah,
And do you
and
perhaps offer instructions on proper bathing?
he looks down at the bag, and then he looks at you, and then he like looks over at the halfling and at the other one that you indicated being Vert, and kind of like, I'd say he would arch an eyebrow, but like he's Dragonborn, like they don't have body hair, so he just kind of like blinks a couple of times, and then he looks at Lucina and he like blinks a couple more times, and he's like, instructions on proper bathing, ma'am?
Well, yes, good hygiene is a very important trait to have.
I
am clean. I just don't know why you need an entire building to submerge yourself in water.
And he kind of like lifts his chin a little bit, and he's like, I see, there's been a misunderstanding. This building is not just for bathing, you understand.
No.
Oh, well, we have a sauna, if you would like to avail yourself of it. We offer massages to ease your troubled muscles. We have private bathing rooms that are separate from the public pools, if you prefer privacy or don't like to be viewed by others. And then, of course, we have the pools, both hot and cold, that can be used by any number of persons at once. And there are pools for both co-ed and single-gender bathing.
I'm going to go ahead and ask this, even though I know you haven't described it, because I think it's a thing.
Okay.
Why are those people naked?
Yeah, so like you probably point at somebody who's like coming out of like the dressing room that's off to one side. And like when I naked in this case, because like I always frame this as like a TV show, it's like
Not
a
wearing
cartoon.
armor.
It's the cartoon version of naked, where they've got like, they're definitely naked, but they have like a terry cloth towel like wrapped around their waist, and it's like a couple of like anime old men, so they're like kind of fat and have like the red noses, and they kind of like look over at you, and they just like, and then like walk through the door into the back, and he's like, well, they're heading back to the bath, of course.
What? But what if they were attacked?
I should hope that no one would be attacked while they are within the bath. And if they were, they would be ejected promptly.
Lucina is now
attacker-
giving.
Go ahead.
Lucina is now giving the receptionist a very pointed look, like, do you see why I asked this now?
Yeah, and he kind of like, he just kind of like does this thing where he like snorts a little bit, and like a smallest amount of like smoke comes out of his nostrils, and he's like, all right, And he looks down and he like picks up the bag that you like set on the desk that had like 25 gold pieces, and he kind of like shakes it. He's like, "This is quite weighty." And then he like opens it up and he's like, "Oh dear, this is more than it requires to have a bath, even for the are there 6 of you?" And he kind of like takes a head count, and he's just this is too much, unless you want to avail yourself of all of the services we offer.
I mean,
and even then, I think
I want to avail myself of all the services. I want a bath, and then a massage, and then go and chill in the sauna. Like,
He wants one of those mud baths with the cucumbers.
yeah.
I mean, certainly, you know what? For this price, I could. All of you can make use of anything in the facility that you might enjoy, and I can see if I can't find a minder for your friend. If that's okay with you, milady. And he's like addressing you specifically, Lucina.
I can't react properly because I'm laughing my ass off. Veer with a babysitter.
Breathe, breathe.
Okay, sorry. She will nod and say, he doesn't necessarily need a minder, just, some simple pointers. He's used to bathing in a stream, so this is a new experience for him.
I ate this entire bar thing, and it doesn't make me smell any better.
Veer, do not.
And he's going to add, what's wrong with bathing in a stream?
Yeah, like the Dragonborn is just like glancing back and forth at like everyone, and he's just like, "Oh
My
dear."
point. My point exactly, Mistress Siani. Seems this sort of place would make you weak and unattentive to your surroundings.
Yes, well, and he like claps his hands, and he's like, "Men to the right, ladies to the left. You'll find dressing rooms where you can leave your things in lockers. Locks will be assigned if you feel that you require them, and I will go see if I can't get someone to resolve." And he just like walks away.
Perfect. It's not a real game until we've bullied an NPC into submission. Yeah.
He really is, yeah.
Well, and he kind of avoids big cities, so she's a little bit confused too, especially
Yeah.
with the whole aspect of communal bathing.
Yeah, right?
Bizarre.
It's weird.
See, it's okay though, be with Lucina, but Lucina can't very well follow Veer because that would be really creepy and weird.
I mean, they have co-ed baths.
Can I take a glance behind the counter as he's wandered off, see if there's anything semi-noticeable that might lead us
Sure.
to our quarry?
Give me a perception check.
Sora is knocking everything down, sorry.
You go, Sora.
Okay, so behind the counter, he just left the bag of gold sitting like behind
Yoink!
the. Fuck's sake. And then there's like the newspaper or whatever that he was reading that has like bold text on it, like "Murder in Baldur's Gate, terror in the streets," and it's a very like lurid description of like the most recent like death, which you guys know about, and like there's a like Duchess Liera Portier, having taken over for older Ravengard, has contracted a group of adventurers to try to get to the bottom of things, like commentary from and it's like a whole thing, right? But otherwise, like, it's just a desk. There's like a potted plant. There's no obvious like secret cult documents or anything like sitting out.
Damn it. I thought that would have worked.
And so yeah, like otherwise that's what you see. And then, as he was walking away to go find someone to help you with your predicaments, he did motion like on the left hand side of the room there's a door that leads to a dressing room that is like it's got like a like like the universal symbol for like
Yeah,
a woman
woman,
on it,
yeah.
and one for the men on the right hand side of the room. And so I guess you can stand there and you can wait for him to come back, or you can go
I'm going
like
to get changed.
Yeah, so walking into the changing rooms, it's exactly what you would think of. Like, there's like lockers that you can put your things in. There's like a small mechanical man that stands by the door who has there's like a coin slot or whatever that you can like put a gold piece in, or actually it's probably like a silver piece. To like issue you a lock that you can use for the lockers. And then there's also like a rack that has like terry cloth towels that you can use to like cover your shame after you have removed your equipment. And this is the same in the women's changing room as well, except instead of it being like a mechanical gentleman, it is a mechanical lady who offers you the locks, right? And there's probably like a little plaque at the bottom of the thing that the statue is like standing on, like the plinth or whatever, that says like donated by the House of Wonders, like Temple of Gond, Baldur's Gate, and then there's like a date that probably dates back like 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Well, I'm putting myself around and getting a lock for the changing room locker thing.
Yep.
And then I guess I'll just like get fucking naked and get ready to go for a bath.
Yeah, so I presume everyone is like doing this, even though
Yeah.
I will.
We all go. This is the
Yeah.
classic bathhouse episode, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite
will-
severe misgivings.
I will not be removing my armor.
Yeah, so at some
Or
point,
my
while
weapons.
I was gonna say, so at some point while you all are changing in the men's changing room, there's a dwarf with a finely braided beard and a full head of hair, who is just wearing a towel around his waist, who comes walking into the men's changing room. He's like, like big burly dwarf, like hairy chest and all, and he kind of like looks around and he's like, "All right, I hear that somebody doesn't understand how to use the bathhouse."
Over there!
I have no idea who he's talking about.
Oh,
And he
I
looks-
say that and I point him out.
Yeah, and he, like, you point at Vert, and the dwarf like walks over, and he comes up to you. You're still wearing your armor and carrying your weapons, and he looks you up and down, and he's like, "Well, if you're gonna be taking a bath, you're gonna need to get out of all of this."
That seems unnecessary.
What do you mean it seems unnecessary? We're not a laundry, we're a bath.
I've never removed my armor to bathe before.
This is the
Oh,
way.
that's villain.
Yeah, and he leans forward and he sniffs you, and he's like, that would explain the odor then.
It helps hide me from prey.
Listen here, Sonny Jim. There's no
Sonny Jim.
prey here. You're not prey. There's no fighting. It's a bathhouse.
Ray
I'm
kind
gonna
of sits
I'm
there,
gonna-
rolling his eyes, remembering of the one fight he did have in the bathhouse.
I'm just gonna like cock my head to the side like a dog.
Yeah, and he just kind of like shakes his head and he's like, "This is a safe place. There are no predators here. Nobody's fighting here. You go in, you sit in the water, you scrub yourself with the soap, you come out smelling good." Like he kind of gives you the rundown. He's like, "If anybody does start shit, then the golems will come to life and they'll throw them out and there's no problem."
I already ate all of the soap.
You what?
They gave it to me and said it would make me smell better. I ate it. It did not make me smell better. They lied to me.
He turns, he looks at you, Ray, and Bo Sing Ba, and he's just like, "Is this a prank thing? Are y'all putting me on? Is there like a crystal ball somewhere that's watching me while this is happening?"
I just tell him good luck and then walk out to go to the bath.
Oh, good.
Can I try and roll to intimidate Beard?
I mean, you can
God.
try. In a PvP situation, though, it is up to Vert whether or not he is capable of being intimidated by you.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could try, but I'm dumb as fuck, boy. Persuasion might be better.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Actually,
you're probably better off
deception might be
persuading
better,
them.
to be honest.
Deception might be better.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Oh my god. So yeah, while Cass is thinking, Baw, you head out and you walk through the door. I'm assuming there's none of this like. Siani, you don't have to be convinced, right? Like you have your misgivings, but it sounds like you're okay with it.
Extremely reluctant, but not seeing a way around not undressing.
Right. And like, yeah, I guess for her part, like Rhea
The staff is coming with her though.
yeah, like Rhea is not at all like reluctant. Like she's just kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the last time I got to go to like a real bathhouse and have like a relaxing massage. And she's like doing that thing that like, you know, teenage girls do, where she's just like incredibly excited about getting a pedicure or whatever, right?
I mean, Lucina's right there with her. She's this.
And so yeah, I guess it sounds like there's no convincing that has to be done there. So you guys head out from the dressing room, having like gotten your locks and putting your stuff away. And so like you come in on one side of the central kind of like part of the bathhouse. Boasting Ball, you probably come in on the other side, like you've got towels wrapped around yourself. And you kind of enter into a hallway where you can kind of like see each other from like across the way, but you're on opposite side of the buildings. But when I say like a hallway, I'm imagining like you know when the wall is made of like
Like a lattice thing.
like a lattice, yeah. And so you can kind of like see through the lattice, and there's like some vines growing on it, and like the central area that you've walked into, there's like a couple of like large pools that are used for like co-ed purposes, and then from there, like it kind of fans out into little like side hallways that lead off to like single gender like public baths and private bathing rooms. There are statues that are holding like ewers or whatever that are like pouring water into the tubs, and with no discernible like source for the water to be coming up from, so they might be enchanted. It's hard to say. And then like back towards the back, there's obviously like where you head for like the sauna and like the massage and stuff. And there are people that are just like clearly employees of the bathhouse who are wandering around like with like towels draped over their arms. There's like a couple of people that are like wandering around carrying like pitchers and like a tray with like cups on it in case you need like refreshment or whatever while you're in the bath. Like this place is clearly one of those like you save up a bunch of money to come here and have you save up money to come here and have a nice like spa day kind of situation. So that's what you guys see, and I'll let you think about that while I cut back over. Have you decided what you're
Yes.
going to say, Cass?
Yes. So I turn to Viert and I go, Viert, my friend, you've not been in very many dense urban scenarios until recently, correct?
Correct.
One of the things about being in a big city like this is actually taking a bath. It's considered a ritual of cleansing after a great hunt. Even the guards do it. That's why this place is so popular. And why nobody would ever consider hurting anyone here. Honestly, I think the intel might be wrong on them actually being cultists here.
Ritualistic, you say?
Indeed.
Go
Yeah,
ahead
well.
and oh yeah, I guess you could just like you could choose to roleplay it out. I was gonna say if he wanted to roll, he could.
No need, because I'll just kneel down and start burning things that I'm pulling out of my pouches. I have to invite Bashaba to partake in the ritual.
Yeah,
I
and
love
so like the dwarf kind of like looks at you as you start like kneeling down to burn stuff, and he looks over at Ray and he's just like, wait, what's he doing?
I'm like, Viert, once you're done praying to Bushaba, it's important that you respect the rituals of this place and join us without your weapons and armor. they will be safe.
Very well. Far be me to impose upon ritual.
You're cutting in and out.
Sorry. Far be it from me to impose upon the rituals of others, pointless and frivolous though they may seem. To each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, the dwarf is
Indeed,
just
my friend.
the dwarf is just pinching the brow of his nose, and then he's just like, all right, I fucking Bashaba worshippers. All right, I think I've got this. I've got this from here. If you want to head on back, I'll get your boy into the. And he just again shaking his head, and so. Do you leave Vert with the dwarf and
I
head
do
out?
leave
right?
Vert with the dwarf, but I give him a hearty thank you, and maybe we'll see him later.
Yeah.
This poor
So
man.
you walk out of the dressing room, and the Dragonborn has returned, and he kind of holds up a finger as you come out. And he's like, sir, I can't see. Did you see what I did with that bag of gold?
I have no idea. I gave it to you. Have you lost it already? Maybe I should just complain to your manager. You're losing money.
Give me a
Oh.
deception check.
Like money, no mummies.
Okay. Roll a d20 for this guy.
Me?
No, I'm rolling.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he arches an eyebrow, and he's like, "Are you sure you haven't seen it?" And he kind of leans towards you with a knowing kind of
I smell shit.
Listen, if I'd seen it, I would have given it back to you. I'm not like my halfling friend there who's running from every bar and brothel in town because he's got a name for himself. Come on.
Are you trying to
Oh.
redirect attention to the
Smooth.
halfling?
Maybe.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Smooth
Maybe.
as silk, Cass.
Give me a persuasion check.
It's gonna be great.
God.
Oh,
We're on the other side of things.
Okay.
I feel the fucking
And he's
disturbance.
like, the halfling,
The
he,
drama's happening again.
lifts a hand to stroke his snout and taps himself on the end of the nose, and he's like, duly noted. You may go.
I invite him to come join us if he feels the need, you know.
He's like, no, I can avail myself of the bathhouse whenever I like, but I might.
But you wouldn't be
Go.
able to join it with us. We'll be done. We'll be in and out. You'll miss it.
I might be having a conversation with your friend, though. And he is scribbling something down on a piece of paper with a quill pen he pulled out of a drawer. Speaking of, Bo, where are you? What are you doing?
I've ordered a drink and I'm just washing myself up and just sitting chilling in the water.
Just sitting in one of the public pools,
Yeah.
people watching.
Yeah, pretty much. I just sitting chilling out, enjoying my little drink there, and just having a soak.
Cool. Yeah, it's a very relaxed atmosphere. There are people kind of gathered together in little clumps here and there, having conversations. The employees are dutifully buzzing around, busy little worker bees bringing people things that they need, taking requests. Somebody comes out and adjusts the temperature of the water in one of the smaller pools nearby using some kind of wand or something. Siani, Lucina, what are you guys doing? Do you stick together? Do you split up?
Imagine it would be safer to stick together.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So you're gonna use the public co-ed pools. You're gonna head back to the ladies only section, looking for a mani-pedi or one of those mud baths. What's the first thing on your spa day dream list?
And I mean nobody is touching Siani's feet.
Fair.
Imagine slathering yourself in mud and then just relaxing. And then we can go and sit in the sauna and then go and soak in a pool. Doesn't that sound nice?
I guess? I'm still very skeptical about the entire thing. But Lucina seems to know what she's doing, so she'll follow her lead.
Yeah, and Rhea is like sticking with you guys like a puppy, right? And she's just like, "Oh, mud baths, and she's like, "Awesome."
But you're supposed to wash the mud off, not put it on.
Oh no! It's really good for your skin. Trust me. It's yeah. And she's just like kind of like trots ahead of you, and she's doing that thing where she's like kind of like half jogging backwards, and she's like, "You're gonna love it. We have these in Elturel, and they're so." And she like literally does that like rear end like into a person who's like walking out of a side hallway, who's like carrying a tray that has like fruit on it, and the guy like nearly drops what he's carrying, and like kind of does that like really like passive aggressive like glare at the back of Rhea's head as he's just like mutters something about people who can't watch where they're going, and like despite her kind of like copper colored skin tone, like it's obvious that like Rhea's cheeks flush, having like made a scene, and she's just like, "Oh dear, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry," and she's like trying to like help, and the guy's just like not having it.
Rhea, dear, perhaps it would be best to walk normally. I know you're excited, but we don't need to be running into people.
And she's like, "Sorry, Lucina."
Sorry,
Say,
Mom.
feet forward.
But yeah, so like that happens, and then you kind of like cut to the three of you are like in a shared like back room that's got like tubs that are like filled with mud that you can kind of like get down in, and there's like somebody who's like helping you out, putting like offering you like the face mask and like the cucumber slices to put over your eyes, and it's like that very typical like spa day treatment for the three of you. And like, I don't know, I've never had that in real life. I don't know if it's comfortable or not. To me, it sounds terrible. But you know, y'all do what you do.
And it will begrudgingly get in the mud bath and probably eat the cucumbers.
Yes.
Of course. And then yeah, Ray, you come into the back. You see, probably see Baw just like sitting in the tub or in one of the pools, like having a drink and enjoying himself. You gonna join him, or are you gonna head back to do something else? What's Ray's plan here?
Well, I figure like he could use a good chuckle. He said nothing about bad luck the last few fights. He needs a good laugh.
Hey,
So he's gonna go
you're
and
welcome.
sit next to Paul. Just jump in the pool next to him. It's like, all right, it's nice here, isn't it? And while he's not looking, he's gonna cast Performance of Creation behind him
Oh no.
and make a sack of gold, or a sack with something in it.
Like a bag of like sand or whatever.
Yeah, just something that looks very similar.
Okay. You're an asshole, but that's great.
He puts the ass in casshole.
Okay. So yeah, we cut back over to Vert then. Have you finished burning twigs and herbs and removed your weapons and armor to a locker?
Begrudgingly.
Okay. So yeah, while you're doing that, the dwarf is just kind of like watching you, and he waits, and then he like holds out the towel to you.
What is this?
It's to cover your shame, boy.
I have no shame. I just took off all of my clothes. Why would I put something else on?
If you don't mind walking around with your willy hanging out, I don't care. Come on.
Off I go, I guess?
Right. So he's just got his towel wrapped around his waist. He's carrying the towel he offered you in case you need it. And then you come walking out of the back naked, and there's like there's like a man and a woman who are like talking to the receptionist who look over as you come out, and like the guy is like does that thing where he immediately like puts his hand up to the side of his face so that he can't see, and like the woman is kind of like glancing over his head and like watching as you walk into the back,
Nice.
and the Dragonborn just like shakes his head.
I should probably note the mask stayed on.
That's fine.
Okay. And
Like,
if anyone's watching,
I'm sure they don't care.
okay. I guess I'll explain it when I find Ray and Baugh.
Yeah, so you come into the back, the dwarf is like leading you along, and like you see like ahead of you, like Baugh and Ray are just like sitting in the public pool. There's a little bag like sitting behind boasting Baugh that he doesn't seem to notice. And the dwarf is just like explaining like the purpose of like the pools and like the different like rooms that you can see that like lead off from this area, and like here's where you can go to have a mud bath, like you can get a massage over there, the sauna's back there, you can use this pool if you like, or there's like private pools if you want like a bathing experience that involves like bubble bath and like scented oils, and like kind of giving you the whole spiel as you kind of like walk past Ray and Boasting Baugh. And like you, for your part, guys, you see the dwarf like explaining things to Vert, and here's Vert walking along, and he's still got his mask on.
And he is horrific. His body is covered in scars, and some of them look intentional. It's bad. Like Wade Wilson on steroids.
Nice.
Man, you can see why I didn't want to take that armor off now.
I just give him a nod and just say, "Come on."
Yeah, I guess self-inflicted would be the better way to describe that.
Yeah.
We assumed that.
Are you inviting Vert to sit in the pool next to you? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, what do you do, Vert? Are you gonna sit down next to Ray and Baugh like in the water, or?
I guess I sit down.
Yeah, and the dwarf kind of like, well, this isn't so bad then, and he kind of like comes and like sits down on like the other side of you. So I imagine it's like Baugh, Ray, Vert, and then the dwarf, right? And
now
so he
what?
got. Well, you relax. These public pools are for soaking and letting the tension out the muscles, you know? Just have a nice, easy breezy, you know, and he kind of just like trails off and closes his eyes and like he's just kind of like enjoying the ambiance.
I am going to say the same thing to you all that I told Hillary when she recommended I get a massage for the first time. I'm pretty sure if the tension relaxed out of my muscles, my entire body would fall apart.
Fuck's sake. And he just kind of like opens one eye and then just like closes it again and shakes his head. Alright, so now that we've kind of got everyone in position, would everyone who is actively paying attention to the goings on in the bathhouse give me a perception check? Alternatively, if we want to frame this as like a more like invasive search, like it can be an investigation check, but that would be like a vignette of you like going from like attraction to attraction within the bathhouse, like pretending to make use of the services, but also like poking your head around to see if you see anything.
I love that Vert, the person with the highest perception in the party, got the lowest roll, and the only way I can justify it is that he's just berating everyone with questions, which is why Ray has such a low score and Bo has such a low score. Why would you cover yourself
Meanwhile,
in mud
the
to
ladies
get
are just
clean?
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so with these perception checks, that as like it's probably like you said for the guys, right? Like Vert is too busy asking questions and like making a menace of himself for you guys to really get like a good perception of what's going on. Also, I have another thing for this situation here in a minute. But cutting back over to Lucina and Siani, who have both rolled incredibly well. Oh God, how would I frame this? So you have your mud bath, right? You spend some time back there, and then it sounded like you were gonna like go from there to like having a bit of a soak or whatever to get the mud off, and then go make use of the sauna, and then like, were you guys planning on getting a massage or no?
I mean, if Siani is up for it, because I'm sure a random person touching her would probably make her uncomfortable.
No
Sure.
touchy.
Fair. So yeah, I think probably what happens then is there are a couple of like sauna rooms that are like available to be used, like towards the back of the whole like bathhouse complex. And as you guys you've like had your mud bath, you know, you get the mud off when you're done, you head back to go sit in the sauna, and you approach like the first door, and it's locked. And you can't like open the door, even though it says it's like, you know, like sauna room like C or whatever. And like one of the attendants like comes by, and they're like, "Oh, that one is currently out of order. We're having some issues with the steam. You could use this room over here," and they like direct you to a different like door, which you can make use of. And I think probably at some point, like as you're coming out of the sauna after having sat there for a while, you probably catch someone going in that door that you were told was out of order. Just like the tail end of like someone like quietly closing the door, slipping out of public view, even though you have been told that that room is not for use by the public. So that's the most interesting thing you learn. Otherwise, you probably see that there's actually like a handful of like secret doors that like you probably catch out of the corner of your eye that like the people that work here are capable of like opening and like going through, which probably explains how they're getting from like place to place inside of the sauna or not inside of the bathhouse entirely without being like particularly obtrusive. For the rest of you who rolled relatively poorly, except Boasting Ball, you got like a 13. You probably see it above Vert's questioning as the Dragonborn from the front desk like comes into the back and is like making a beeline in your direction.
Wonder what he wants.
So yeah, the Dragonborn like comes walking up to the group of you, and he kind of like hands on hips, and he looks down and he sees the little bag sitting on the edge of the pool, and he sees you, and he sees Ray and Vert, and he's just like, well, I never would have thought you would be so brazen as to bring it in here and just leave it sitting on the edge of the pool.
There's no way to talk about Vert.
Yes! Fuck's sake. Oh my god.
Oh my god, fucking wrecked!
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh.
You can tell he's been thinking about this.
Oh my god.
I know is I don't even know there's a bag behind me, and this guy just asked me that.
Yeah, he kind of like squints at you and he's like, no, not the strange wild man, the bag.
I'm
the bag
sorry.
of gold
I'm
sitting right behind you.
I'm sorry, Did you just insult my friend?
Yeah, that's kind of rude, dude.
Hey.
What bloody cold? Like,
Veer, what are you gonna do about this? This guy's being an asshole.
yeah.
Oh no.
I don't understand what's going on. Is this part of the bath?
Oh god. This is part of the bath.
He's ruining our ritual.
Then be
Damn it.
gone.
He kind of like looks at you and he's like, "Excuse me, I
You're
work here.
excused.
So
This
while,
bag right here.
While
Your
hang on.
friend."
while he's distracted, I want to cancel the spell.
Fuck's sake.
Then I will look at where he's pointing.
Yeah, I'll do the same and be like, what are you talking about? What bag? Like,
It was right there. He told me that you stole the gold that he paid for you all, and like other people in the bathhouse are like turning and like watching because he's making a scene, right? There's no bag where he's pointing, and he's like the half told me that you took it.
that doesn't sound like something my friend would say.
I'll,
Are you
sta-
calling
I'll
my
stand
comrade?
up and I'll come out of the bath for a second. And I'll just pat him on the back. It's like, are you sure you're feeling all right? You kind of
teammate
rushed
a
in here
liar?
and there's nothing. Like, are you okay? Do you need a hug?
He's just like
Are you calling my teammate a liar?
I honestly don't know anymore.
And are
So-
you calling my other teammate a thief?
Hang on. Guys, I know how to settle this. So I walk away for a second and I go back into the locker room and I go and pull out my viol, sorry. And
Oh my
I
God.
come back in and I just go, listen, you're gonna make an exception here for this. Come join us.
Oh my god.
You clearly need a break.
Yeah, like there's a susurrus of like other like patrons of the bathhouse who are all like looking at each other and they're like whispering to one another. And they're just like, "What's going on? This is very unusual. Why does he have an instrument? What? Somebody steal something?" And then the guy just kind of like looks at you and he looks at the viol and he like looks down at Vert and Buzzing Ball and he just kind of like shakes his head and he's like, what is even happening?
I take a moment to address the crowd. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I will play for you a wonderful tale.
The song of my people.
No. It is known far and wide as the Three Flambinis.
3 Flambinis?
Yeah, that's literally what I've got on my bio sheet.
Oh my god.
A ribald
Wonderful.
song concerning mistaken identities and unfettered desire.
Oh my god! So you're singing a fucking like sex song in the middle of the bathhouse?
Yeah.
Alright! Give me the fucking performance check!
No, not yet.
Alright.
Not yet. Our esteemed friend has to go into the bath. He has to join us.
And he's just kind of like,
I look him straight in the eyes and I just touch his face and I'm like, you need a break.
I'm still wearing my uniform.
Bah, strip him.
He's like, no.
I'm just like,
No.
nah, fuck that, man. I'm comfy.
Can I assist? They made me get naked. This motherfucker's getting naked.
Yes, you may.
Oh my. Okay. I don't know. Are you coercing him into
No,
getting
I'm
naked?
just trying to.
No, we're forcing him.
We're forcing. I'm just like.
So intimidation, I guess.
No, I mean like we're bodily taking his clothes off, or at least I am.
I mean, yeah, I need some kind of check here to keep him from running away from you. Okay.
You're not very intimidating.
I try-
I like to
Yeah,
imagine
I
Jared's
tried.
like, you must take these off, but he's like, no, 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 and then I'm like, you have
Yeah.
to take them off, or my friend will kill you. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah.
No, so you stand up out of the water and you try to be like intimidating or whatever. He's like the dragonborn is like slowly backing away from the three of you with his hands like held upright, and he's like, look, I'll go back out front. We don't have to make a scene out of this. I won't call the golems. Just
And I
You
just
know,
we just grab him by the arms and carry him in, whether he likes it or not.
just dump him in the water. Okay. So yeah, there's a loud sploosh as the attendant like falls into the warm water and like flails a little bit and sputters, and like the entire crowd in the bathhouse that's like out here is just like gasps like collectively, because like this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened on any of their visits to the bathhouse.
So I
It's relaxing.
I use a
Trust me. I just want to keep spouting the platitudes that Cass has been telling me this entire time to this person.
I'm gonna use a
Fucking
bardic inspiration to give him a motive potential, just so he's got a little bit of glamour around him, so that everyone looks at him.
Okay.
So he's got a little glowing green bean all around him, and I just sort of
Okay.
walk to the other side of the pool and just start playing my song. And I just like I like it because it's a famous song that everyone knows. So
Sure.
what'll happen is we'll do like a verse, and then they'll go to the chorus, and I'll sing it myself, and then they'll do another verse, and then I'll look to the crowd and go, listen, you guys join in. Here comes the chorus. Get ready. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Okay. Give me your performance check. I will give you advantage because this is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, so it pretty much goes exactly as you described. Like, at first, the crowd is confused, but they recognize the song, and so by the time you're kind of like into the second verse and the chorus, like people are clapping and
Yeah.
singing along
And I
and
just
and
over the
getting
course
into it.
over the course of this, I'll just like make little nods to our esteemed manager, our host, who deserves to take a break because he works so hard. He's just been
I
working a
imagine-
little too hard, and he needs this.
I imagine he's like sitting in the water at this point, like still in his uniform, just like looking a little embarrassed with this green like moat floating around his head, and he's like his head is sticking out of the water to the point that like it's just like his nostrils and like his eyes that are above the surface of the water, and he's like lightly blowing like smoke filled bubbles in the water because he doesn't want to stand up because he's afraid of what'll happen if he does. But the crowd is like really into it. They're singing, they're clapping along. Like people are like, "This, we haven't had live entertainment at the bathhouse in a while. This is great." And there's like people who are like poking their heads out of some of the private rooms just to see what's going on. Like you've really captured the attention of the people here in the bathhouse, which perhaps conveniently cutting back over to Rhea and Lucina and Siani. Maybe this has made an opening for you to
Could you
investigate
even
more
say,
closely.
could you even say it was taking part in a public celebration?
Yes, well, we'll get to piety later, sir.
Okay. So, Sayane will wordlessly get Lucina's attention and pointedly look at that door that's supposed to be off limits that has people going in and out of it.
Lucina will nod in agreement that we need to get inside there and have a little nosy around.
That she will nod.
It's just
Yeah.
a
And,
happy endings.
Shh.
No.
So, as I understand, that door was locked, yes?
Yes.
But you also mentioned they saw, like, service hallways, so there might be another
Yeah.
entrance. So, Sayane's gonna head towards the nearest service hallway.
Yeah, all right. You know where they are because both of you rolled really high. You specifically I think rolled a crit. So
Yes.
I'm not going to make you roll to reacquire the target. You find a place where you can kind of push your weight against the wall. And you hear a click and the wall kind of swings inward a little bit and you're able to kind of very casually just walk into there's basically a network of hallways that kind of runs in the walls between the various rooms and services that are offered, and you're able to slip back in there no problem. I assume you're bringing Lucina and Rhea with you on this little endeavor.
Yeah.
And are the group of you trying to be stealthy about this?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get the two of you to roll me some stealth checks? And I will roll for Rhea.
Ugh.
Oh god. We are not stealthy.
Stealth.
Stealth.
Well, Rhea seems to be doing okay.
She learned some lessons after our last endeavor.
Yeah, she's definitely dropped into stealth prowler mode, even though in my head I can't help but imagine her just lightly doing the dun dun dun,
I have-
under her breath.
I have to ask just because I don't know if Avisa knows it, but Avisa, do you have Pass Without a Trace?
I don't think so.
Okay. That would be a useful stealth skill.
Yeah, I do not have.
Okay.
Okay, well let's see
I guess
here.
Diana's just straight up awkward, not being in her normal clothes. She's what now, in a fucking towel or a robe or something?
I mean, to be fair, Siani could be not naked at any time she chooses.
Yeah.
Yes, she could be a bear instead.
Yes. She could be bear or bear.
God.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a d20 in secret, as I do. And I'm going to compare. As long as, at least two of you beat the roll, I'm going to assume that, the group of you successfully managed to be stealthy. And it appears as so you do. So, you, it's probably a close call where you go to turn a corner or whatever and there's a member of the staff who's walking to somewhere else and you manage to duck back out of the way at just the last second as they walk past and you are not caught being in an employees only section. But I guess are you trying to figure out if there's an access to that blocked off room?
Yes, an
from
alternate
the
entrance
okay,
to that
yeah.
room.
So, yeah, it probably the geometry of the building is not so difficult. So I think it's probably pretty easy. You figure out where you're headed, and yeah, you find one of those little secret doors that you can open from the inside, and this is not locked, and you are able to pull it open and walk into this sauna room. And for all intents and purposes, it looks exactly the same as the sauna room that you were in, a few minutes ago. It's got tiered seating, kind of arrayed around a central. I'm thinking of kind of a central thing for hot rocks or whatever that you could just dump
Mhm.
water on to make steam. And otherwise, it looks exactly the same, except that the rocks in the center are not heated, and there doesn't appear to be there's no water coming out of the spigot that would dump water into the bucket that you can use the spoon to pick up water and throw it on the stones. And there's just there's no one in here either. You definitely saw people come in and you did not see people leave.
Okay. Next logical step would be to search for a button, lever, something. There's obviously some sort of secret in there.
I want to mess with the spigot.
Okay. Well, considering you went straight for it, I'm not going to make you make the investigation check. You
Oh.
begin fiddling with the spigot. Because Lucina was picking up what I was putting down, clearly. And, like, you twiddle with it for a little bit, and eventually, like, you turn it just far enough that you hear a click. And the basin in the middle of the room that would be filled with, like, hot coals and whatever, like, turns like 90 degrees and then rises up out of the floor. And there's like a staircase that like spirals down into the dark.
I think we should go for the others and get our stuff.
How exactly are we going to get them into the women's only side, though?
Oh no.
That's... Tiny's gonna think about that, shrug, and then go, the service tunnels?
I mean, that's fair, yes. I'm not quite sure how to get a message to them, though, so that they can get their gear and meet us.
Hmm.
Now remember, Ray is out in the middle in the co-ed, like, central part of the bath, playing a weird concert right now. You could probably distantly hear, like, the singing of the crowd and, like, hand clapping and, like, a low bit of music that's, like, drifting through the wooden door that leads to the sauna, right? Like, something is going on outside while you're in this room staring at this staircase that leads down into the dark. Meanwhile, Rhea has, like, dropped down onto, like, her hands and knees and is, like, looking down into the hole, and, like, she makes a face and she looks up at you and she's like, it smells like sewer.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Them damn sewers again.
We should retreat and get the others.
Yes, I
I don't
agree.
think going in there alone is a good idea.
I'm with you
And
wholeheartedly.
if I'm gonna get filthy, so is everybody else.
Fucking lewd.
Exactly.
I'd literally just had a bath. Jesus.
So did we!
It's wonderful, isn't it?
So, we're gonna, I guess, creep our way back through the service room and back out towards the co-ed area?
Yeah. So you come out of the service tunnels and you, like, walk out from, like, the woman's only side, and, like, to set the scene again, like, here we are in this, like, there's a couple of, like, large pools that people of both genders can freely use, and like, there's, like, people that are just, like, singing and, like, clapping and, like, laughing and enjoying themselves while Ray is standing there, I presume with a towel still wrapped around his waist, or maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, playing his instrument and singing this body, like literally, like, the Baldur's Gate equivalent of, like, the thong song is all I can imagine at this point.
Yes. The loincloth song.
That loincloth. Cough, 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 cough.
Why would you put this evil on me?
Like, you can see that the guy from the front desk is still, like, seated in the pool, like, submerged up to his nose, just, like, with this green, like, bauble, like, floating around his head like a fucking Sims plumb bob or whatever. Just, like, unwilling to, like, get out of the water. So clearly some mischief happened while you weren't paying attention.
Glenn is quietly going to stay aside to Lucina. We cannot even leave them for 5 minutes, can we?
No, we cannot.
I
The
just sit there.
spirit is in the bath.
I just stand there playing my instrument, singing away, thinking to myself, man, I needed this.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Rhea's, like, standing behind the two of you, and she's, like, got her hands up to, like, her cheeks to, like, cover the blush, but, like, it's, like spread out to her ears or whatever, and she's just like, oh my god, I don't think you're allowed to sing songs about these kinds of things. Dear Lord.
You poor sweet summer child.
Gonna pat Rhea on the shoulder and be like, it's okay. It happens.
You'll understand when you're older, dear.
Oh my god.
And she just kind of like looks at you, and she's just like, I'm not interested in that kind of thing. And she just like brushes past you, and she's like, I'm gonna go get my equipment. And she's just like beelining like away from you. Like,
Uttering
she wants
away.
no part of this.
It's a good thing Bear didn't stand up.
Oh, Veer was standing. He was holding down one of the shoulders of the manager,
Oh no.
Oh no!
like
Yeah,
forcing him to stay seated.
So yeah, like Rhea probably like looks over and sees like scarred up, like fucked up Wade Wilson, like Vert,
It's
no
it's
towel on,
horrifying.
in the water, and then just like shrieks out loud and starts running more quickly.
I'm going to go with Rhea because last time we sent her on her own, she got kidnapped.
And now she's naked, so it'd be even worse.
Yep.
And I guess I's just going to stand there for a moment. She's not really squicked by nudity, but she is going to keep her eyes politely at shoulder level.
Right. Yeah, and so
She'll stay behind to impart or tell the guys that she has something she needs to discuss with them privately.
you probably notice the shrieking and see Rhea like run past, and then you see Siani standing there. So I don't know. Do you bring the performance to a near conclusion, Ray?
Yeah, I'll carry on playing a little bit more to get to the final verse. And do the chorus one more time for the crowd to go wild, and then I just they're all, that's all, and they're all cheering and
Right.
yeah,
Like
and
the crowd is like delighted. Like the dwarf who was meant to be like Vert's minder like stands up, and he's just like, you know, that's my favorite song.
Of course it is.
I'm glad I wrote it for you. No, and I'll just I'll see Siani and clearly see the you know. And as they're all cheering, I'll just go, a round of drinks on the manager for being such a good sport. And I'll just
like sputtering and more bubbles in the water as he like flails under like Vert's like grip, but he's just like no, but like he can't say anything.
I mean, I'm not holding him underwater. Just, you know, he can't.
So I picture, I don't know how you want to picture it, Marcus, but I picture it. It's big cheers and the crowd comes in to like basically have a posse and carry him out and stuff and.
Right, yeah, no. That's perfectly acceptable. So yeah, like there's a bunch of naked people that pick up the sopping wet like front desk like attendant and like carry him to some other part of the co-ed area. There's probably like a bar or whatever where they like the employees like get the drinks, and so everybody's like gathered around over there, just like, you know, 3 cheers for the manager or whatever.
No,
and
kind
of leaves the group of you.
I'll walk up to Siani and I'll just be like, sorry, we had to show the bathing ritual.
How did that go?
It didn't make any sense.
Never does.
It rarely does.
But I did get to hold a man down. Mr. Ray played a song. That was nice.
After that,
Whatever gets you off it.
Sayane, after watching that poor guy get carried away, she's going to blink and then just nod. And go.
Oh my god.
And go rather quietly. I found something. Well, we found something.
What did you find?
It's best we say as little about it in case there's ears, and it's best you see it.
Give an awkward, joking face. Like if it's something long and gets inserted, I don't want anything to do with it.
With that, she is literally going to stare at him blankly for a moment, then smack him upside the back of the head and walk off to get her gear.
You see, in many animal species, the male have different genitalia than the females.
Fuck's sake.
Well, sometimes the females can't get a male Vert and they have to make do. Let's go get our stuff.
Females. Sorry. I went all Ferengi there for a second. Alright, so yeah, cut to...
Lewd bathhouse scene over. Hooray!
I want more lewd bathhouse.
I figure at this point we will cut to like everybody's like re-equipped and like you have like like actually everybody now I guess give me stealth checks.
God.
Stealth.
Stealth.
Better than last time, I guess.
Stealth.
Oh my god.
Listen, it's not my day, guys. It's not my day. You had to take me to the
Not mine
fucking
either.
bathhouse, didn't you?
Rhea's
That's-
armor actually gives her disadvantage.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh no.
Oh no.
He has exited Prowler mode.
Let me compare. Fuck's sake. Okay. As the game master rolls a fucking 2,
Nice.
somehow
Sounds like bad luck, huh, Marcus?
bad luck. So yeah, somehow
Bad
despite everything, we cut to the group of you, Rhea included, rearmed, rearmored, like ready to go, standing in this sauna room around this like central like charcoal pit thing that has like again been raised up out of the floor on like pistons or whatever that come up out of the floor, and there is a this kind of like winding set of stone steps that heads down into the darkness, and as Rhea pointed out, it does smell faintly of sewer.
Fuck's sakes! Like, literally just got clean and we're going back down there. What the fuck?
This is why I said it was unnecessary. We're just going to smell again, and then what? We'll have to take another bath? That's how they get you.
I know fucking I am, like...
Could have just bathed for free in a stream.
And you know, when we're out on the road, I'll happily do that, but when we're in civilization, I'm going to have myself a bath. God damn.
That's how they get you. They make you do stuff. What's next? More stuff?
Oh, that reminds me, and
Here,
I'll just
Cyanide's gonna go down the fucking.
before we go down, I'll
Hatch.
chuck 25 gold in the purse to Bo and go. There you go.
Is that what this guy was talking about? What the fuck? I'll have a chocolate and like put it in my bag. You fucking dick.
Wow.
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 Take your 25 gold, you dick, and enjoy it.
Hello.
All right, so you've got the way down. Who is going first?
I assume
believe
me, 'cause
I
I'm the
am.
stealthiest.
Stealthiest. Oh, not me.
Just going to the altar that the stealth rolls in.
You don't want the ranger up front. They're
Nah, you want
supposed to
him in
stay
the
at
back.
range.
I'm just going to the altar that the fucking stealth rolls in, pretty much. Just to be better at the back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, are you all going down as a party, or is someone going to go down ahead and like scout the situation out?
I assume we go as a party, considering the last time we
Yeah.
split up the party. It was entertaining.
Okay, and
It
then
worked out great for me.
marching order. Then are you going to put Rhea in front, or is Rhea going first, or like
Probably
I'm
Rhea
just-
in front, to be honest, and then
okay?
follow the
So probably what, like Rhea and then
Rhea,
and
me, then
then Bo,
yeah.
Vert in the back, and then Siani and Lucina probably in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so just wanted to make sure I had everybody's tokens ordered
Oh, is it
appropriately.
Presto
So you,
change all time?
yeah, so you head down this kind of like spiral staircase, which like bottoms out in a stone like hallway that has like more descending stairs, but they're like straight, and you come out in this situation here. At the bottom of this descending like flight of stairs, there is shallow water that comes up to about like mid shin. The water is brackish and a little thick and reeks of sewage. And directly ahead of you, there is what appears to be a barred gate blocking your way.
Don't you just love the smell of Baldur's Gate all over again for the second night in a row?
Well, this is what happens when you have a lot of people shitting in one place.
Yeah, fair.
You could say it's a bit of a shitty place.
Why don't they just bury it?
Gonna get a scrap
of
of
it.
cloth out of her backpack and tie it around her nose.
Fair. And so yeah, like Rhea kind of like sloshes forward through the water, places her hands on the gate, and kind of like
Also,
shakes it a little bit.
I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Dog's freaking out.
Fair enough. Kind of shakes it a little bit, like puts her hands like on the bottom, like there's like crossbars that are like reinforcing it, and tries to like lift it, and like can't. And then kind of like like she's also like produced a pair of goggles that look exactly like the ones that like Bosingwa traded to Ray, or not to Ray, to Vert. And is using them to see in the dark. And she kind of like peers past the bars, and she's like, there appears to be a lever on the other side, but I can't reach.
How far away is the lever?
It's like the next like 5-foot square over, but like
This is
it's just because you're like pushing yourself against the bars to like reach through. Her arms just aren't long enough to get at it.
this is the part where we're sad Avisa walked away. She's the one with the vine cane.
Her fucking tail as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, in the meantime, can I like walk over here and see what's this way? Is that just like an empty fucking room?
Yeah, there's another little like side area over there. Do you want to like make a perception check? See if
Yeah.
you've noticed anything in there.
Fuck, not money either.
No, it's a weird little like side nook as far as you can tell.
Nah, nothing interesting over here, guys.
Anybody got to double check his math, or are you gonna take that for what
Yeah,
it's
of
worth?
course we're gonna double check.
You can
Yeah.
only see half the size everyone else, you know.
Go for it, hun.
I'm thinking.
What
like,
is your
okay,
passive perception with the feat you took?
20.
Okay, so
oh,
if
my
you
passive
had-
perception's like 12. Like, does that make a difference?
no, it doesn't. It does not
Alright.
beat it, but hers definitely does. So like, can you see where I'm pinging? Yeah. So this room that you're looking into now, with your passive perception, you definitely notice there is 100% a secret passage, like right here.
I will draw everybody over here then.
Oops, that's not what I wanted at all. What did I do?
Did you
Nothing
MS
in
paint
the
this one?
No.
Nothing in the room, he said.
Uh,
All clear, he said.
Listen, Vert, might only be shit height for you, but I'm up to my balls in this shit, quite literally. It's putting me off, okay?
Yeah, so Rhea's still like kind of looking at the gate, and she sees everybody like moving off to the side. And she's like, "Oh, did you guys find something?"
No,
Yeah.
there's nothing here, apparently.
She makes a face at you. You don't have to be mean, you know.
Isn't that right, Mr. Baugh?
Yeah, nothing here. Absolutely not a thing.
I turn to Rhea and I'm just like, don't take it personally. He just had his first bath. He's a bit all scrambled.
Yeah, and she shakes her head. She's like, "I don't know how someone that old could never have had a bath before. That just seems so." And she's like mumbling about that now.
I don't know, Rhea. We're Stranger Things. There's a halfling here that never wins at anything.
Oh fuck! Shots fired.
Poor Baugh just cannot catch a break tonight.
I mean, I didn't even get to have a massage. I didn't get to have a
Yeah.
sauna. I get dragged out of the bath into a fucking sewer. Like, you motherfuckers, man.
But yeah,
Poor
so
Baw. We owe him a nice dinner or something.
Yeah, I even got my fucking steak stole the other time I tried to have enjoy my dinner.
yeah,
you know?
and I think to more adequately paint a picture of what we're seeing here, like this is something of like a weird aggregate of like what's probably like old like basements or like deliberate subterranean construction that has intersected with like later attempts to bring like better like sewer plumbing and like pipe work to Baldur's Gate. Like there was a huge push like a couple of years ago by a family called the Van Thamper family to basically bring like magically aided like indoor plumbing to Baldur's Gate, and so like the sewers in a lot of places had to be redone. So it seems like a bunch of like ancient construction from like a long ass time ago like intersected with the sewer system in a way that's causing like filth and water to like pool in places that it normally wouldn't. So like you're not actually in a sewer, but you are in a place that is being like affected by the overflow of the sewer.
Gross.
If that makes more sense. And yeah, there's this secret door like ahead of you in this little nook. What do you guys do?
Like, did she tell me it's a door? I'll go and open it.
Yeah, I'm assuming she did.
No, fuck it, I'll go and open it. Is it obvious how it opens? Like, does it just...
Like knowing that it's there now, you're able to kind of like feel around, and you find like there's like a one brick that's sticking out a little bit further than the others, and you kind of like push on it, and it like it's. And you know what? It's a fucking like fantasy setting, so it's a pocket door. Like the door like literally slides to the side, right?
Yeah.
And like more water kind of like comes like bloof like through the doorway to like meet the water that you're currently standing in. So the next room over is clearly flooded. The other thing I will note is you hear what sounds like something in the next room lightly sloshing in the water and like chewing, maybe like a large
Oh no.
mouth like biting on something, and like you know what it sounds like when dogs just fucking go to town on like a bowl full of
Oh
like
my
wet
God.
food.
Yeah.
Like a bulldog eating oatmeal.
Yeah, something like that coming from the next room.
So, yeah, I'll like wave over to come up a bit closer before we go any further. I guess I'll like stealth forward and see if I can see what it is.
This ought to be good. Bo's gonna stealth everybody.
So just a stealth check.
Yeah, give me the stealth check. Alright. Okay,
Bo
so
manages to perfectly sneak into the room, sees everything he needs to see, and instead of walking back, just says, "Alright, that's some big fucking thing over here!"
Yeah.
alright, so go ahead and you can move forward another one. So, I'm sure you can see it, right?
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
So, there's a corpse in the water that is being chewed on by
Dun, dun,
this
dun.
thing.
Ooh.
Adorable.
It's horror.
How is that-
It's horror Dodogama.
How is
And
that
it-
adorable?
And it stops chewing as you slosh into the room, and it looks up at you with all of its multitudinous eyes. It blinks once, and then its tongue lashes out at you.
Ah!
God.
Does a 17 hit your armor class?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I know where this is going.
Take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, please.
As you're swallowed.
And then you may make either a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check of your choice.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
Oh, wow. You are able to avoid being enwrapped in the tongue, but only just barely.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck!
I don't like that.
Literally, I rolled a 21. So yeah, like you feel this like weird like tongue like wrap around you. Let's see here. If the target is a creature other than an undead. Okay, also give me a constitution saving throw.
Not good. Oh,
Okay.
not bad.
So yeah, you the tongue like tries to wrap around you, and you're able to like kind of like dodge back out of the way to keep from being enwrapped in this long like putrid smelling tongue. And you also feel this weird like prickly like tingly sensation on your exposed skin because of the weird like slime that is coating the tongue as it like drags across the surface of your skin. And the creature just like reels its tongue back in, just like, and then I'm gonna have an initiative roll.
Delightful.
Fucking gross.
Oh boy.
Let me remove all turns, and
Oh shit.
no, we're good. We're good now.
Let me roll that off for that.
Well, I rolled shit.
Welcome to my life, brother.
Ha! My initiative roll was pie.
Nice.
Holy shit. Alright. Do we have everyone? We got Vert, we got Siani. What was your roll? Was 7.1. Okay, so that's set. Okay, so everything is set. So at the top of initiative is actually the frog ghoul,
Fuck.
which yeah, I think it's just gonna. It hops over the corpse and it comes right up to you, and it's gonna try to bite you. And it's gonna roll a 1, so it does not
Yeah.
succeed. Holy fuck. Alright. There you hear the sudden, like, violent sloshing of water in the next room over that Bo, like, creeped into. What do you do?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think because I can't see anything. I'm
Like-
going.
You can definitely hear things, I will say that.
Oh, okay.
You fucking heard me
Can I
yelp
hear
when I got
generally
out.
what direction it's coming from then?
Yeah. Can you not see the map?
I can't see anything past here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like...
Do what I
Past
do and just
there?
move your token like slightly to.
Yeah, like if you move, like, 1 square forward...
Oh god, what? I went through the wall.
Don't do that.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. I have 30 feet of movement. 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a thing there.
Yes.
Okay.
That is trying to eat Bosing Ball.
Oh god, how mean do I want to beat a ball right now?
I mean, it's not his day, so very mean. Just do
I'm
it.
glad you're taking this very nicely, the amount of shit I've given you tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. That's an action. That's an action. Ah, fuck it. Let's bane it. We'll bane it.
Okay. And it makes a saving throw.
Charisma
DC
save.
Charisma save. DC 14. It's real bad at charisma saves, y'all. Yeah, it does not make it.
Cool. So it's
I'll
basically
go-
minus D4 to all of its attacks and saving throws, and then bonus action. I will chill.
You will chill.
Yes,
Okay.
because that's all I can do as a bonus action.
Alright, I'm gonna make sure I have my key open. Okay. Siani! You have definitely heard the yelping of one Bosingbaw. You have heard much water sloshing going on ahead of you, and you have probably heard like the chanting and whatnot of Vert casting a spell.
Okay. Well, as I'm so far back, I don't think I can get much further than, like, here, I think.
Yeah, right about there.
So I can see Bo, but I can't see the enemy, so there's actually nothing I can do.
Okay. If you wanted to double move, you could like get
Yeah, I suppose I could double move and
into the room at least. You would be like present if
yeah,
not able to necessarily like commit to an action.
yeah.
Because I
So
think you
I
could
will.
get behind Bo, like next to Vert.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Okay,
And that's me.
cool. Lucina, it is your turn now.
All right. Oh, okay. He's right there. I am going to firebolt him.
Okay. Does that hit his armor class? It does.
Sweet. And that's about all I can do.
Alright. Definitely scores a sound hit. You know what? Here, I will give you this because you are specifically a death cleric, and like this thing, like it stinks like the dead. Its body seems to have like wounds or like gaps that would imply that it should be like bleeding out, but it's not. It's like moving in this kind of like herky jerky way in the water that seems like entirely unnatural to you. And it fucking stinks. Like this thing is probably undead of some description.
It's like 3 times worse than Veer before he had a bath.
Right.
I mean, he bathed in streams. He wasn't
It
terribly
wasn't
smelly.
completely smelly. No,
Yeah.
it's just funny to propagate the meme that Vert didn't understand how any form of bathing worked at all.
Yes.
Ray, it is your turn. There's definitely a fight going on up ahead of you.
That's the best I can do is get to here. I can't see around the wall.
What? I mean, I guess you could double move and get into the back corner over here if you really wanted to.
It's a tight squeeze, so I think I'll just stay here for now.
Alright, cool.
I will, however, give Avisa Bardic Inspiration.
Cool. Master to Avisa.
Okay.
To Siani. Master Ball, there is a fucking undead frog monster trying to nom on you.
Right. Can I try to like shove it back?
Yeah, you can attempt a shove action in lieu of any one of your normal attacks. So yes.
Right. So that's just athletics, are all right?
In the player handouts, you will notice that there's now a subfolder called House Rules, and there is a thing called General Stuff, and that has a bunch of like useful actions in it, including shove.
Yay.
The target, you make a strength athletics check contested by the target's athletics or dexterity acrobatics the target chooses. So You make an athletics check, and I will oppose. It's kind of either or for this creature. It does not make it, so you can push it 5 feet back.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And then you
And
can move to occupy the space that it just vacated.
Well, I'm gonna move and like get around it,
Okay, cool.
and then
And
I'll
then you
use
can flurry, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my key to use a flurry of blows.
Okay,
Flurry of bows.
Yeah.
flurry of bows. Bow, bow, bow. That hits. Alright. And that will also hit. Alright, yeah. So you're just taking like huge swings with your mug, and like the pewter is like just like you hear like bone cracking under the surface, and like its skin is like rubbery, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever had the occasion in your life to handle like a dead fish or whatever that has like been rotting for some time.
No.
But I mean,
No,
like
It
I
feels like
have,
that. Yeah.
and it is incredibly pliable, and it tends to kind of like fall apart if you handle it too much. And that's kind of what's happening here, as you're like kind of like almost punching like chunks of it off with this like metal like cup, right? But you know, despite the fact that you clearly seem to be doing like damage to it, it does not seem at all phased or in pain by what is happening. And then Rhea is going to step up, and she'll put herself there, and then she will attempt to help fight the bad guy with her longsword. And she will whiff like a champ. And
Did we ever give Rhea the sword we got for her?
I don't think you have yet. No.
Oh, I thought we did.
No,
we just got her out and we didn't do
You
it.
just got her out and then came right here. I don't think you ever stopped to give her the gift.
Whoops.
Okay, so the Frogul is going to turn, and he's going to try to tongue Bosing Paw again.
Fuck.
And he's going to miss.
Yeah.
Bert.
Okay, I don't like this thing. In fact, I don't like it very much. So, I'm going to... Oh, wait. Is this... Hold on, let me check and make sure. God damn it, why are all my spells concentration?
Because that's the shame of being a ranger.
Yeah. Well, I was going to Hunter's Mark him, but that's concentration, and Bane seems more appropriate right now.
Yep.
So I'm going to shoot him? Question mark?
Shoot him.
Oh, no.
With the are you firing the gun? That's all I need to know.
In this tiny poop-filled space?
Or have you kept a bow for these situations?
I absolutely have a bow. I don't really want to shoot things in this tiny enclosed area. Ah, what the hell? We'll bow attack him. Why not?
Okay. Oh no!
Oh.
This is why I don't use the bow anymore.
Bad. Yeah, this is the bow of many ones. Remember that?
Yeah,
this castle.
Yeah. But I can't get rid of it because it's basically like a relic to my god at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
You know?
It kind of has. Like, do you mark like on the wood like every time you make an inexplicably terrible shot?
I do now.
This boy's just covered in them. Like, it's got so many.
Listen, that's why it's so worthless, because there's so many fucking cut marks on it that
Yeah.
it's hurting the structural integrity. That's all I can do. Yeah, that's all I can do.
I love it. Siani. Evil zombie frog.
So I'm assuming she would know it's undead as well.
Yeah, like it's everything you've seen of this. Like clearly, it cannot be natural.
Like, yeah, not only is it sort of like visibly kind of rotting, but sheets Circle of Twilight, they revolve around getting rid of undead.
The hunting of the dead, yes.
So she's gonna light crossbow this with a silver crossbow bolt.
All right, cool.
And I guess I'll use the Bardic Inspiration on that.
Yep.
So
What is your bardic inspiration? It's a d6.
D6, and then there's a bonus as well because it's a normal attack. Let me find the thing again. Bardic Inspiration.
All right. Well, go ahead and roll the attack roll, Siani. And then you can roll the d6 and add it. You can just type, yeah, okay, cool. So that will definitely hit. And then I believe your thing does like thunder damage if it's used on an attack
Yeah,
roll.
I'm just double checking. Attack roll. Immediately after the creature rolls the Bardic Inspiration die to... Immediately after the creature... Yeah, okay. The creature rolls the Bardic Inspiration die to add it to an attack roll against its target. The mote thunderously shatters. The target and each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it must succeed a Constitution save throw against your spell save DC or take thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the Bardic Inspiration die. Thanks, cat.
Okay. So go ahead and click the light crossbow word in the chat there to do the damage for the crossbow. Okay, and then it has to make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC.
There it is. I need to cut that down instead of just like fucking.
Constitution saving throw against your. Okay, so what is your spell save DC?
Mine or raise?
Raise, I believe, is the way this is interpreted.
It
should be on your spell page at the top.
14.
Okay, cool. That is all I needed to know. Constitution saving throw. Which it does not make. So she rolled a 2 on the Bardic Inspiration die, I believe. So, okay, yeah. Between her crossbow bolt and the thunder damage that explodes from your mote of potential, that is exactly enough damage to drop the creature to 0 hit points. And so it falls.
We should burn it.
Bosingbaugh, can I get you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh boy!
And Rhea needs to make one as well. Ooh, bad news. Okay, so you're fine. Rhea is not. So Rhea needs to make a con save. Okay, but she makes the save. So, as the thing expires and like its body kind of like loses its cohesion, probably under the explosion of like the thunder damage, like a bit of like gobbets of viscera and whatnot kind of like fly out from the corpse. Rather than having any kind of like dead blood or whatever like in its veins, there is a familiar, like viscous, blackish gray substance that I think you would all recognize from that time in the chapel in that castle that splatters out as the creature dies.
And then Rhea triples in size.
Rhea gets splattered with it, but made the Constitution save to not have a mutation affect her.
Oh my god, we can bottle more of it!
Oh jeez.
Oh my god, no!
No.
And
Thanks,
so yeah,
I hate it.
Here you are in this room, floating face down in the middle of the flooded room is a bloated corpse of a shirtless male human with repeated knife wounds and chew marks on it.
Carl.
Saying prayers.
We should burn it.
And all this water, that's not going to go well.
Beard,
I just
we're
walked
in the
mostly.
sewers. There's probably some weird fucking gas here. The last thing we want is fire.
I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
We should burn it anyway. The undead are tricky like that.
Like,
I
I
agree.
do have to agree.
I
Perhaps.
agree with you, but maybe not here.
Definitely not
Do
here.
you want to carry it out?
No. Vert's the one that wants to burn it.
Okay, I'm back. Keep in mind you're in shin deep water, so like
Yeah.
it probably won't burn here, but you might be able to drag it to somewhere that is dry.
Drag it
Like
to
the
stairs
sauna.
back there.
Yeah,
no.
let's put it in the sauna. Yeah.
No,
what
just put it in
saunas
this. In the
Also,
fucking
Ba, I
stairs.
think you can see into the next room.
Kind of, yeah.
There's like a little altar in there.
Oh, wait, hang on. They might be able to burn it on this altar. I don't know if that's gonna be good or not.
Yes. Let's just burn strange undead creatures on strange, potentially undead altars to strange undead gods. Genius, Mr. Ball.
Is that a bad thing?
I mean,
That's-
look at it this way. He's got the god of good luck on his side. What could go wrong?
This guy gets it.
That was sarcasm.
Oh.
I mean, are you gonna head into the next room, or
I mean, I'll
I'm
head
sorry,
into
go
the
ahead,
next room,
Amaya.
If our time together has taught us anything, it's that we all know who the most powerful goddess of luck is.
And I intervene and go, yeah, my loot. Carry on.
Audible squint.
Yeah, audible squint indeed.
Did you just insult my goddess?
No,
might have.
I just said I have really good luck
Mm-hmm.
with music. Because so far, every time I've gone and performed, it's turned out pretty well for us.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second, I need to mess with your token.
Except for the bard out at the bar.
No, that still ended quite well. He was a pal.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why it won't let me look through your vision. Anyway, the room that you enter there, Ba, while they're like having this conversation about deities and whatnot, 3 wooden beams brace the ceiling of this flooded chamber, which features a stone altar that appears to be covered with entrails in the northeast corner. Hanging on the wall above the altar is a steel mask cast in the form of a frowning human skull.
Technically, skulls can't frown.
It doesn't matter. It's what's written in the box text.
Oh, it's really interesting that skull's got a frown on it. I've never seen that before. I mean, I'm not fucking touching it until somebody comes in here and has a look at it. Is there anything else lying about here, or is it just that altar?
Other than the altar with the entrails on it and the skull thing on the wall, no, not particularly. I guess further down, there's a little like alcove down here.
Lucina, does this look familiar to you?
Does it look familiar to me?
Give me a religion check.
Can I assist?
Yes, you can
'Cause I'm-
offer her advantage by aiding
Okay.
another.
Because I'm. Am I? Oh no, I'm not. Okay, but.
Um,
Got nothing.
Oh my god.
I'm so
Fucking
sorry,
rip.
hon.
it could be. I mean, here's the thing. It could be any number of like death aspected deities. Just because you haven't like had a successful roll, like you're not sure which deity it is. What you are certain of is that this is a deity that is aspected towards death in some way, and is probably evil.
He got Bashaba's attention by talking about her.
Mm-hmm. That's how it's gonna go tonight, guys.
And the altar definitely has someone's eviscerated entrails just spread out on its surface. Perhaps the dead man in the next rooms.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I will say another quick prayer just in case it's somebody else.
Can
Fair.
I
can I
Amaya's talking.
sorry.
can I take the entrails?
You want to take the entrails?
Do you know how good gut is for bowstrings?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can take them.
Sweet.
Fuck's sake. What are you gonna? Are you gonna put them in a bag? Do you have a bag?
I don't
Yeah,
know why,
why not?
but I just pictured them taking them and eating them.
I pictured them taking them and just hanging them
So
off the
Lucina's praying. They're just sweeping like what appears to be human viscera into a bag.
But just the intestines. I don't want the blood and the guts.
Okay.
I just want the
still.
intestines.
So you're
Intestines
shaking
is
the
technically
blood
not-
off of the entrails and then putting it in a
Yes.
bag.
I don't know.
Yes,
I thought maybe you'd be
gross.
washing it in the dirty sewer water.
Yeah, squeezing out all the stuff. You know, I just want the gut.
Washing it in the sewer water like a raccoon.
Yes.
Fuck's sake. So that unfortunate mental image is going to be with me for the rest of my life.
So I put my hand on the shoulder of Lucina and I say, maybe it might be worth using your mace to rid us of this altar.
I think that's an excellent idea.
So you guys going to spend an amount of time like defacing the altar? It sounds like.
Just smash it. Just one.
Oh
fucking...
yes.
Okay. That will make a significant amount of sound. So I'm going to make a roll for something. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the. Okay. Yeah, so you hit it a couple of times and you like kind of like batter this altar down and like it no longer like it's still like, you know, wood and stone or whatever, but it no longer has the coherent shape. The metal like skull mask is still hanging on the wall unless you like pull that down and like batter that thing too.
Can I throw the halfling at it to reach?
I mean, like it's on the wall at a point that like you could just reach out and grab it. It's not like super high up, right?
Yeah,
It's
I think
just
we'll take that down. Probably leave it in the water somewhere in the other room.
okay, cool. I was gonna say like if you take it down, you like it is a mask. You could actually wear it if you wanted to.
Why would
But,
I want to wear a clearly related to undead mask?
I don't know. Like I'm putting it out there, man.
Then again, our
like,
halfling went around with a knife that wanted to kill everyone all the time, so...
I could always use a backup mask.
looks more like a human than your legend form, probably.
Ah, what the hell? Treat myself.
Okay. You can add to your character sheet a steel frowning skull mask.
Yes. And
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
so-
description, it just says, "Treat yourself."
And so yeah.
Oh, and one thing of guts.
Oh yeah, and a bag of guts.
Human
Down here,
guts.
there's a little alcove directly to the south of you. And the back wall of this alcove is hung with a 5-foot wide, 7-foot tall tapestry. It depicts the grisly scene of 4 faceless figures ripping apart a 5th figure who is screaming in agony.
Oh, neat.
Lovely.
Hey Vert, do you want this for your room? Back in the woods?
I don't have a room in the woods. I
Oh.
sleep on the ground.
Do you want this for the ground in the woods?
Hmm. Is it heavy?
I don't know.
Would it make a nice blanket?
It is a 5-foot by 7-foot tapestry hanging on the wall. It's long enough that the bottom edge is like down into the sewer water, and it has kind of like started to soak up some of the filth.
Yummy. No, I think I'll pass.
Okay.
Okay. So no one.
Can I try and make a, what would it be, history, religion check to see if,
Sure.
I mean, I know what's on it?
Yeah, you can try to suss that out.
Well-
Again, I think it would be a religion check in this case.
Okie dokie. Nope.
Some hell shit, maybe.
Seems
Hard to
like
say.
some hell shit. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Rhea's just like, you know what? I'll give her.
Yeah, Jesus, Rhea, do something.
She's not
You
super
can't.
good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's like this. This definitely seems to be uh, a depiction of damnation of some description. It reminds me of something that we would use to frighten sinners into correcting their ways, but it's clearly more focused on the pain and the suffering. This is exulting in the punishment of the sinner. This is not meant to dissuade the sinner from action.
Your group sounds lovely.
Well, I mean, normally we're trying to save people's souls. This seems to be implying that the purpose of the soul is to suffer.
No, that's what he meant was lovely.
Oh, what?
Never mind.
Isn't it though?
Never mind. It's fine.
Well, no. You live a good life and you go to the heavens of Mount Celestia.
Oh yeah, before I forget, Ray got you something.
What?
Oh no! We almost did it again, boys.
Yeah, we got you a present.
Was this what was this? You took like a regular log sword, or was it a magic sword?
Well, we
Like, I
got
don't...
a silver. We made a silver sword, and we got printed on it in Celestial our favorite meat shield.
Right. Okay. So are you gonna present her with this sword?
That was your idea, Ray. Do it.
Yeah, I just give a smile and go, here, from us with our love to you.
Yeah, and she looks at it and like kind of like draws the blade and sees the inscription, and like her eyes kind of twinkle because it's like, oh, something written in Celestial, and then she reads it and like her features change slightly in that like not sure if compliment or insult. And she draws the blade fully and she kind of like swings it a couple of times and she like remarks at like the good craftsmanship, and then she puts it back in the scabbard and like hangs it on her belt next to the longsword she already had, and she's like, it's lovely. I'll treasure it always.
Give her a small wink and a pat on the head, like, you should. It's got some very fancy writing on it. Maybe you should get someone to translate it for you in the future.
She kind of like, she makes that face where it's like unclear if she's like feeling sympathy for you or she just doesn't want to say what she's thinking, and she's like, I'll take it under advisement. And then she turns and walks over to you, Bod. She's like, what's up the stairs over here? Have you seen anything?
Oh no, it looks like something at the door. Up there.
I was waiting for the, why don't you go and check? And then it's like, no, it's alright.
I mean, yeah, I'll walk up. Oh, there's two doors up here. Oh, cool.
Okay, so you head up the stairs and you walk down that hallway, and that is the right key. This chamber is empty, but not bereft of decor. Carved into each of the three doors is a full figure depiction of a grisly sight. The east door bears a carving of a tall man in armor wearing a bucket helm. His right gauntlet is painted black and clutches a set of blood-dripping shackles. The north door is depicted as a powerfully built, skull-headed man with long, curved blades where their hands should be. And the south door is portrayed as a cloaked figure whose face is hidden under a cowl. In his skeletal hands, he is clutching a wreath of roses, at the center of which is a screaming human skull.
Lovely.
That's metal as fuck.
Yeah.
That is metal as fuck.
Brutal.
So yeah, I guess just tell everyone to come up and have a look at this. It's some fucking weird doors.
You turn around and like call back to the others like out
Yeah.
loud, I assume? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's way more metal if we don't care.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's with the metals and the clicking and the clanging, and this is good.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize all that stuff was metal. All right, carry on. All right, I guess I'll move up here. No, here. Yes, that's the spot.
That right there. Ray? Lucina?
I guess I go here.
Okay. So yeah, you got this room. There's 3 exits, clearly. What do you do?
I turn to Lucina and I ask, do you recognize what any of these might mean?
If you would like to make a religion check, Rhea is willing to offer you aid so that you have advantage.
Okay.
What he meant to say is so that you don't have to rely on Virt for advantage.
I mean, Vert's also not up there. With a 13, you... Here's the thing. You probably haven't studied it extensively enough. You probably don't have a lot of, like, specific details, but based off of the descriptions of the figures, I think you are relatively certain that the 3 figures depicted on the doorways are in fact the dead 3, Bane, Ball, and Merkel. Which you will remember at one point, the bodies that were turning up appeared to have had holy markings of these 3 evil deities, like, branded on them, but with no particular, like, actual religious significance. They were just there to, like, freak people out.
So just any door then, really?
Yeah, I mean, you can check any of the 3 doors if you would like. Just tell me which way you're going.
Anyone got a preference?
Left for the left
Think-
gods?
Well, left would be back the way you came.
Well,
Unless
if we walked into this room and left would be north, basically.
left would be north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me remove the door from the dynamic lighting layer so that you can see. You guys can see that, right?
Yeah. I can.
It just
yeah.
leads into a long hallway
Oh.
that presumably leads back in the direction that you came.
Yeah. I would want to make sure it's that, or what?
I'll wander in.
I'll go with. Yep, it does just lead back to where we came from.
Oh hey, look, it's that closed gate. I guess we should probably open it.
Yeah.
This door seems to open from the other side.
Fucking Dark Souls!
Yeah, so you're able to, like, flip the lever.
We unlock a totally not shortcut.
Remove the gate.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Alright, so. East or south?
I hold up my skull mask and say, "Skull."
That was East one that.
Actually, the south door was the one that had the screaming human skull surrounded by a wreath of
All right. Cool. We'll go
roses.
south.
Cowabunga it is.
Okay, so you open that door. Siani, are you the one that opens that door, or is somebody else going to open it? Just out of curiosity.
I can open it.
I mean,
I just didn't know if we wanted to readjust the position of people as I open the door, that's all. Because here's what we see as the door is removed. There appear to be 3 individuals inside the room who are all kind of like sitting around playing like knucklebone dice in the middle of the room. And as you open the door and look through, they look up at you in shock.
Boy.
They seem legitimately confused by what is going on here.
Say it, hun. Say it.
If it's the line I'm thinking of, it's not very appropriate to use right now.
I close the door.
Oh, that line. Yes. Because fuck all of that.
Okay, so you close the door. And you hear from the other side of the door that, hey, they're not supposed to be here. And then you hear like these guys like getting up from where they were sitting. Like this is going to go into an initiative
Well.
type situation.
Well, that sounds lively. Just going to over here. You know.
Okay. Well, stop moving. It's initiative time.
Well, between the time when they close the door and the initiative, I would like to reposition.
Okay, you can get that far, and that is that.
Here, I'll go 1 forward or 2 forward if that makes it better.
Forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards.
Are we re-initiative?
We are indeed reinitiatizing.
I always forget to click my fucking token, man.
Oh boy!
Oh boy.
Hope you guys don't expect anything out of Virt this round.
Let's see here. Do I have everybody? Oh, I need Rhea. Derp.
Ask if I could just straight up throw a spell into their faces, but then the door was closed.
Lucina closed the door, just like, sorry, we're not. We got lost looking for the bathroom.
Oof.
That would be the way, wouldn't it? Turn order setting. Sort descending. Master Ball, you are at the top of the order. The door has been closed, preventing you from doing anything unless you would like to kick the door back open and go on in.
No, I'll just wait, then I'll hold an action to throw an orb of dragon breath when they open the door.
Oh. Good. Good. Very good. Okay, so from the other side of the door, you hear some shuffling. This gentleman like steps forward, and he throws open the door, just being like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here." And then I assume you just face full of dragon breath him.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Okay.
just roll that. Or,
Yeah, you can just go. Did we make an attack for
yeah,
that?
you did. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and click that. I don't think that's gonna hit him.
Yeah, I might use luck on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What? Oh god.
Okay, so he just barely manages to like get out of the way as this like orb kind of like flies past him and like lands in the room and explodes in this kind of like swirling like brief like fire situation, and he's just like, oh, nuh-uh. And like he is going to respond in kind by trying to shoot past Siani, who appears to be in front of him. And a 23 hits you, I'm sure. So go ahead and take 7 points of necrotic damage as this kind of like horrifying black energy like lances out from his outstretched fingers and just like catches you in the shoulder.
Wanker.
And that is his turn. Lucina, somebody in there is using black magic on your halfling.
And he is getting a firebolt to the face.
Oh wait, did that damage hit me?
Yes, it hit
Yes.
Yeah.
you. He was
Alright.
shooting past Lucina because you
Alright,
attacked
sorry.
him.
How much was it again? Sorry, I spaced out there.
7 points of necrotic damage.
Right, sorry.
That will hit him, so go ahead and roll that damage. Alright. Seems to be a very palpable hit on the foe. And then, do you have anything you would like to do with your bonus action, or no?
I think so. 1 second. Bo, how's your health looking?
I'm 20 at 31, I'm okay now.
Okay, then that is it for me.
Okay, cool. All right, Master Ray.
Right, that's it. I see the bolt fly at my halfling, and I'm like, you can't do that. That's not fair. I need him alive.
Only
What
I
are my
can do
jokes
that.
today?
Yeah, exactly.
I need him alive. That's
So I'm going for Thunderwave,
Thunder Wave.
and it's going to be on this cell here.
Okay.
So if I go back to my character sheet. And no, not Thunderwaves, Shatter, sorry, Shatter.
Shatter.
My bad, I upgraded
Even
it.
better.
I forgot it. You say
You're
that,
gonna
the last
fill-
time I used this was fucking depressing.
I mean, hit that button. Let's see what happens.
Squeal.
Nice.
Okay. So the guy at the door first to make the save. Does not make the save. The second guy does not make it, and the third guy does make it. So he'll take half. So, oof. All right.
88.
So, I mean, it's fucking 20 points of damage. It's right there.
Yep.
Fucking hey.
Just this huge, you just hear this huge like vibrating and scratching sound in the distance.
Oh no, it's not in the distance. We'll get to that in a second.
Around the corner in front of us.
So, the guy at the door is dead. He's probably like knocked forward, like limply into Siani, who is standing right there in the way. The guy in the corner next to him is also dead. And the guy at the far back of the room wishes he was dead because he is bleeding out of his ears and his nose. Now, as for the rest of you, what sounds like a fucking mortar explosion just went off in the next room. So, like, imagine, like, the best, like, Call of Duty, like, tinnitus. Like, beep, beep, it's just like this huge echoing explosion just went off in an incredibly enclosed tiny space that is made out of stone, and there's like bits of like dust and small like chunks of rock like raining down from the ceiling as this sound just like reverberates around in the enclosed space.
I look around at the party, seeing the shocked and somewhat terrified faces, and I'm just like, worth it.
Ray, What have I told you about thinking before we act?
I did. I thought there might be more in that room, so I dealt with it.
Oh, good lord.
Listen,
While I'm at
listen,
it.
it's like a rule that all bards have to use shatter at the worst possible time.
And while I'm at it, I'll use my. I think I have one more. Do I have one more?
You get it
Yes,
back
my
on a short
last
rest.
bardic inspiration is going on Siani.
So this guy on
I thought
his
you get
turn-
bardic inspiration back on a short rest.
No,
Uh,
not yet.
Oh.
He is going to step one square over so that he can try to shoot you with his death laser. Because fuck you, Ray. 22 definitely hits you. You take 8 points of necrotic damage as he fires past Siani, like answering your damage in kind. I mean, not completely, but he's trying, damn it. And then he's going to finish the rest of his move by running around the corner into the next room.
Limp around the corner, blood in his face.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Limp around the corner, bleeding out of his ears and nose. Siani, it is your turn.
Okay. Is going to pursue.
Do not pursue Lupin.
I know. I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking that.
And
How did you
One
do that,
second.
Sora? Like, apparently she jumped down and flipped the goddamn food bowls and water bowls.
nice.
Fucking A.
Yeah, so he's kind of staggered off in this direction, apparently.
Just gonna go over here so she's in line of sight. And going to use. Oh, where did it go? I'll go with Ice Knife.
Hey, Snafe.
And I'm gonna use Harvest Scythe with that.
Okay, cool. So that will definitely hit. So go ahead and click the ice knife word there to get the damage.
God damn.
Damn.
Oh.
And then the harvest scythe thing, like also you roll a die and add yet more damage, I think.
Yes.
Okay, cool. This
Let
guy
me
is
check that.
super fucking dead.
Ice Knife just cuts him in half.
A D10.
Yeah,
Okay,
D10
cool.
death damage.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck that guy.
This dude is super fucking dead. Holy shit. And then
I'll give the two. I can't give the hit points to anyone because I'm not inside of anybody.
you can give them to yourself, I guess.
So I'll give them to myself, I guess.
Okay.
Ice
so
Knife
yeah.
somehow makes him explode. That's weird.
Did you include
Yeah,
the
so
bardic
you-
inspiration in that roll?
I
Nope,
should have.
She did. I mean, you can hold it. Like, you don't have
Yeah,
to.
I'll hang on to it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he is super fucking dead after all of that. So yeah, like you kind of like run. He's like cowering in the corner, and you just kind of like run in and just like with this like blade made out of ice. Like, are you hurling like an actual icicle, or do you actually like bother to shape it into like a proper looking weapon?
Probably small throwing knights, flechettes, something like that.
Okay, yeah. So you get it's a little bit more shape to it than just
Yeah.
like an icicle, and it like embeds in his chest, and it just like explodes out, and he just like falls over dead, and like the kind of like healing energy like raises off of the spell and kind of like floods into you and reinvigorates you. And that actually like you know there was just the three of them, so we can drop out of initiative for the moment again.
I take a minute to turn to Virat and go, I look into the other room and see the carnage, and look back to him, and I'm just like, I told you the bath ritual was a good idea.
Annie's just gonna be poking at her ears, making sure that they're not bleeding.
It's certainly
Same.
not the best you've ever had. I'll tell you that. Like it's not a good day, all things considered. But the enemies have been defeated. As I said, like they were playing like knucklebones, like in the middle of the floor. So like if you look around, you can see like the dice got blown into the corner by fucking Ray's shatter. There is like a small, like what was originally a pile of coins that have just been like fucking rained all over the room. If you take the time to like scoop them up, you find 8 gold pieces and 23 silver pieces and 47 copper pieces.
As in on the two, like, cultists.
Let's see here, 23 silver pieces and 47 copper. What did you ask? I'm sorry.
And on the, like, the guys, the dead guys.
They are wearing just like kind of like dirty, like ragged cult robes, and they are carrying flails. And they appear to have like nothing of particular value. Like the jewelry that they're wearing seems to be like peasant jewelry that doesn't. It's not made of like precious metals necessarily.
Made out of fucking wood or some shit.
Yeah. The next room that Lubu was pursued into is a small crypt that is partially collapsed around a stone sarcophagus that appears to have been pried open and looted a long time ago. There's dust and a few bones left in it, as well as a leather satchel.
I guess I'll inspect the leather satchel.
So yeah, you kind of reach in, and it appears to be a bag that like the three in this room were like sharing collectively. Inside the bag is a potion of healing, and what appear to be 3 leather-bound tomes. One is red leather, one is umber colored with runes that seem to have been burned into the cover as though by branding irons, and the third one is bound in scaly black reptile hide.
Ooh.
Okay, I guess I'll skim through them, see if there's anything of interest in them.
Make me an Arcana check.
Oh, not my strongest front.
Listen, just for
Um,
the memes. Just for the memes. All right. I've never rolled above a 5 on an Arcana check, so
To the two of you, these books appear to be full of gibberish. Ray, you actually are an arcane caster, so you don't even need to make a check to make sense of this. These are spell books.
Oh.
too bad we don't have a fucking wizard.
I will put them in the loot channel.
Listen, all we have to do is convince Rhea to be the wizard.
Yes.
We'll just take her to totally not demiurge and just have him mind wipe her and respec her. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
That's maybe the darkest thing anyone has said in this game.
What did he say? I couldn't hear him.
He said we'll take Rhea to totally not demiurge and have him mind wipe her and respec her.
Yes, perfect. Listen, those are pretty good spells. That's
Yeah, these clearly belonged to the 3 men you just killed.
That first one you don't need. You already have burning hands.
Oh, fuck.
what?
You're right.
But yes, so as I have a hard out this week where I have another game I have to get to, with the death of those 3 acolytes and the discovery of their spellbooks, I will leave off here for this session. You have managed to navigate the bathhouse and find your way into the subterranean sewer system secret lair of the evil cult. You have definitely encountered some weird undead and some cultists who tried to fuck you up and did not succeed by virtue of Ray's highly overkill shatter spell.
Don't worry about it.
What was it highly overkill though, or was it completely necessary?
Either way, it just depends on your point of view. I will award everyone in the group 200 experience points because I've decided rather than tracking experience and giving to all at once, I'll just give it to you at the end of the session, and you just can't level up until you take a long rest if you tick over. We'll just keep that in mind. I think I will definitely give piety for Bashaba. I will give piety to Ray's deity. I will give piety to. You know what? I think everybody pretty much gets one this session because everybody seems to have like Siani just went with the flow, even though she really kind of didn't want to. We've got Captain Good Luck over here just hoping everything would work out, and obviously like Hillary was doing the most to pray to her deity. So
We're getting there, boys
Slowly but surely.
and girls. We're getting there, dudes. Everybody's a dude.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
Dudes.
Siani is going to be deaf by the end of this between the fucking gun and the shatter.
the gun
Yep.
and the shatter spells, yeah. So yeah, I will leave it off there. Good session, everyone. I hope you all had fun playing around in the most obnoxious bathhouse in all of Dungeons and
Yes.
Dragons.
Yes.
It was great.
It is good to get back into the game and like have our characters doing dumb shit again.
Definitely.
Have a good one, Marcus. All right.
Yep.
No probs.
Thanks, Marcus.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
Great
always happy
session
to
as
run.
always.
I just got another fucking game today.
Yep.
Ugh, too much. All right, later, y'all.
Later.
All right,
Have a good
bye,
one.
everybody.